Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Holly and today's video we are going to be working on the cottage garden. We have some big plans for out here and some big transformations that's going to be happening in today's video, but we're not quite through yet and it'll take probably a couple months before it really starts looking its best out here. So we're wanting to add some more pea gravel to this little fire pit area. I'm wanting to pressure wash, paint all the wood. There's a few things that we have gotten from a company I'm going to be sharing with y'all to kind of spruce up the cottage garden. It's going to be so nice. And then we're going to clean up a lot of this, cutting back all the dead, moving these pots around, getting rid of a lot of pots that we have out here. I just want to simplify it. So this is the stain that I got. I got this from Home Depot. It's by Bear. And then I got the color Slate. And this is what we're going to be using. I used this to paint our bed swing, and there was enough of it to paint everything that I wanted to out in the cottage garden. And oh my gosh, the transformation on this is incredible. You'll be able to see it at the end of this video. We're still not completely through with like the lattice part because we were spray painting it and it became so windy we couldn't do it. We were having to wait for the wind to calm down. Hopefully we'll be able to do that later this week. So we had some really pretty days and some things out in the garden bloomed out, and now it is getting below freezing here, and so we're having to cover up some of the plants. So more things that I wanted to do to complete this video. I wanted to plant our lettuce, and I was going to plant some lavender and different things, but we're just going to have to hold off and do that maybe next week. So just come back and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we will be adding to this cottage garden as we are able to add to it throughout the upcoming warmer spring days. What a difference this has already made. Now, if you remember last year, I wanted to paint this fence in all white, but I watched Garden Answers and she has hers black in her cottage garden, and it is so pretty. All the green popped, so I loved it. This little fountain, actually, I'm going to move it here into the middle of this, and then sadly, we had some really cold days in December, so it just completely killed off our Confederate jasmine, so we're gonna have to replant those. I was really sad about it. And then I have something really cool that's gonna go right here. You'll see later on in this video. Drew got home from work and he grabbed a paintbrush and started helping me out. Now I was able to help do this, but the spray painting, I thought since it was outside it would be fine, but no, the fumes were awful, and so Drew took over the spray painting. I just did it a little bit until I realized I cannot do this. If you're new here, we are expecting our first child, and so I have not been able to do as much as what I usually do. But thankfully, Drew loves doing outdoor projects and making the outside look good, and so he has been a huge help. But look how good this looks. Actually had a lot of fun this afternoon. It was a beautiful day, and Drew brought the radio out and we were listening to some Morgan Wallen and just painting away, and we got all of this done in a day, so that was really exciting. This was the next day, and thankfully this day was even more pretty than the day before. And what we're going to do is get rid of all of this galvanized stuff. I'm wanting to probably keep just terracotta pots out here. I've realized that this galvanized stuff just rusts easy, and I don't want to have just clutter everywhere. I want it to be really easy maintenance. We are going to spread that pea gravel around in the fire pit today. We're going to clean up the back of this. I have all these extra pots and different things that I want to clean up. Some I'm going to trash. Some of them I'm going to put in a big pile and sell on a big bundle on my Facebook Marketplace. And then we're just going to kind of spruce up the rest of it out here. Move a lot of pots around today. Today is actually going to be a really fun day. I love doing this and designing the garden. This over here, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these baskets and this little shepherd hook right here. I just don't love it here, and get rid of these little bird feeders and probably this sign. And then this is a clematis we covered up because it was kind of cold at night, and I'm actually going to go ahead and move this to another location as well. These stumps had to go. They just like disintegrated. As soon as I hit them with a shovel, they just started falling apart. They were not heavy at all, so I moved them around, got them out of there, and now we're just going to add some big terracotta pots into here and add some herbs in them. And then this was a shoot that I got from my mother-in-law's that was a crepe myrtle, and I think that the cold got it too. So we're still in the rocks that was around it, and we're gonna go ahead and finish off this bed, because if you remember last year, the hammock used to be in front of that lattice and I never completed the rocks. So we're gonna steal those and complete it. And then I went ahead and moved the rocks out just a little bit more to make the bed just a little bit bigger. Figured spray painting this would be much easier than painting it, and it is. I even had a mask on while doing this and it was just too much. So we stopped doing that, and Drew started it back whenever he got home from work, but it got too windy, so we're gonna have to probably get him to finish that. Maybe next week it won't be so windy. So this pile is the trash pile, and this big pile is just a bundle of things that I'm going to get rid of. So good just cleaning out the garden and making a fresh new space. And now this is the very next day, and Drew is opening up. So this video is sponsored by Costway. Y'all have heard about me talking about them on my channel before, and I love them. They have anything and everything on their website, and we are going to be putting together a garden shed, or Drew is, for out in the garden where I can keep like my fertilizers and my little rakes and shovels. It's gonna be so nice to have this out there where I don't have to come in through the garage or out on the back porch. Just everything will be out in the garden. I think this is gonna be so cute out there. And then also they sent over, this is really exciting. Drew was excited about both of these, but this one he was pumped about. So this is actually a battery powered push mower, and I actually got to use it, and it is so easy to use. And so this is going to be really nice and handy to use in the cottage garden where he doesn't have to weed eat so much, because the big lawn mower won't fit in between the raised beds. And so this is going to be super handy. And so I'm going to link all this stuff down below, and I will give the codes on these too if you're interested in them. Do not forget to check out Costway. Don't sleep on them. They have some amazing things online and some really good deals. Drew had just cut the grass last weekend for the gender reveal, and the grass didn't grow much taller, but we were able to play around with it, and Drew was cutting like things all over the yard. We love this lawnmower and think it is wonderful to have. I couldn't find Maddie whenever I looked out across the yard. She was riding on the four-wheeler to Drew. She loves riding. Well, all of the weeds and dead things that I pulled, I piled in 2 piles between the 2 days, and Drew is about to load them up on the trailer and take them across the yard into this like little area that he dumps all of this stuff, and it just kind of disintegrates. And then he's going to be moving these stones and putting my fountain over here. And although we won't be able to share like a full view of what all this is going to look like, you can use your imagination. And doing this stuff now is perfect, because whenever it really warms up, I can just start planting, and all of this hard work and labor will be done, and we can start putting plants in the ground, and it's going to look so good. So Drew's just moving these. We're going to add this fountain into the middle of this like lattice area that I had the Confederate jasmine growing up last year, so to make like a green wall background. And it smells so good in the spring and summer. It puts off a beautiful white bloom, and it smells delicious. And so I loved having the fountain going and then walking over here and smelling the Confederate jasmine. So I think this is going to be beautiful. So he brought my shed over here from Costway, and I'm planning on buying a rake and shovel from Home Depot that I spotted. These are actually Drew and Tim's for the farm, and so they stay down at the barn. But we're going to actually organize this better another day. I'm just kind of throwing some things in here to kind of show you what I'm wanting to put in here. But I have a lot more stuff in my in-laws' basements that I need to add into here. And we have little pots. We're just going to organize it a lot better than this, so stay tuned on another video. But I did want to go ahead and put some things that I had on the back patio that's been sitting out there. Go ahead and put that in here. And I did want to see if a rake and shovel were even going to be able to fit in this, and they do, thankfully. And ta-da, this is kind of the finished look for now. I am going to walk y'all around and share with y'all kind of the after. Like I said, we do have to finish painting this, and it looks so good all black. So the top of it's got to be done, and then the back side of it or the front side of it, whichever way you're looking. And then we've got to plant a lot of plants in this area. And we're going to add a lot of mulch to cover up these little stones, but it just kind of helps level it out and keep it off the ground. So we have some mulch for that. And then again, the Confederate jasmine will crawl all up this. I'm actually going to put a screen on this hole. It's going to help it be able to breathe again, but I don't like the idea of snakes getting in that. And then I am going to buy a black handle from Hobby Lobby to put on the shed. I just think that will make it look nice and a little bit easier to open and close. And as you can see, the lovely birds have already pooped on our black fence line. Drew said, "What are you going to do about that?" I said, "I'm just going to let her eat." And then we moved the clematis over here. Okay, let's take a full little cottage garden tour. So this little arch is kind of the entrance in, and I have two different antique roses climbing up them. I'm thinking about spray painting this black. What do y'all think? And then over here to the left side of the fence, I want it to be like my apothecary garden, like all the herbs. So my plan is to put like lavender in here, some kind of herbs in these pots, and then planting a eucalyptus bush right here. I'm going to keep it trimmed back so it'll stay a bush and not a tree. And then all of this is going to be full of herbs. And so you can see I've got to pull out all of these weeds. But I have, like this thyme is coming back, but like my parsley died off and the cold got my rosemary. But you can see I got these little tags from last year. They had them again this year at Target. And I went ahead and put them in the ground where I wanted to put everything and made my list of things that I've got to go get from Petals. So that's just going to be full of herbs. This is the Prosperity Antique Climbing Rose. It's already bloomed out. It will be covered in blooms in the springtime. And this is a repeat rose. You can get all these antique roses at my local plant nursery, Petals from the Past. They do have a website and you can order online. They're called dianthus and they stay evergreen. And I want to get some more. I want to get several different colors and plant them all around these terracotta pots. They're great ground cover. And in these pots, I want to plant some lemon balm, maybe mint, and let those be full of herbs. And then this is a big butterfly bush. So I have a white one, and then my neighbor gave me a purple one, and I just put them together. I haven't fully planned this bed yet, but I'm thinking I want to get some white verbena, and it's like a ground cover. This will have mulch all around it. I just looked up and I may make this my tea garden and plant like my mints in these pots and lemon balm. And things like that. This is actually echinacea that I thought that I was going to put over there in the herb garden, but we may do like an herb garden and then a tea garden. That kind of sounded really fun, so we may do that. And then this is the clematis, and it will trail up this, and I think it'll be so pretty. It blooms white, and I've got to find something to go here. Still have to paint the back of this, and then we still got to move our blueberries. We didn't get to do that yet. Blueberry bushes back here. This is actually a vanilla strawberry hydrangea, and it loves full sun. Kaylin Austin actually gave me this for helping them with their landscape. So this is going to be beautiful back here. And then I've got to figure out what I want to do to the back of this area. But that's the whole fun of this, is getting to figure out and design and figure out what plants that I want to use where. This needs to be pressure washed. I want to put some pretty plants on this little concrete table. Have lots of little picnics out here. The pergola looks gorgeous. This is my Farmer's Dream roses. They are so beautiful, and we've got to tie these to the arbor again. We did finish out the pea gravel, and then I want to stain this stone too in the fire pit area. Not stain, I want to pressure wash it. And then we've got to find plants to go and these little containers back here. I also have 2 elderberry trees, and I've got to figure out where to plant them, and then I want to get rid of all these pots. I don't know where I'm going to do with those yet. This is a rose I'm going to plant in our landscape, so I'm going to move that out, and then I want to get probably 2 more of these limelight hydrangeas and plant them all on the back wall of this. I think that'll be a really pretty backdrop for this area. And then this is some lamb's ear that pretty much stays evergreen, and I've got to get some more Henry Dulberg salvia to go on this side. The raised beds I'm not going to paint because I don't want chemicals to get in them, because this is where my vegetable garden is going to be. And then let's go look at the side of the house. So this, I want to get a hydrangea there. This is a camellia. They're supposed to be evergreen, but the cold got to them. But they will get kind of bigger, and they are going to be gardenias, and they have a beautiful smell. And then right here, I want to add hydrangeas. I want our landscape to be green and white and the cottage garden to be colorful. Okay, friends, that is all for this video. He is worked out. She is worked out. Y'all don't forget to hit that subscribe button to come back and see what our cottage garden is going to look like. Come back and play with us in the garden. I hope that y'all have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you guys on the next one. God bless, and I love y'all so much.